Ladies, please welcome to the stage No Holds Barred, Improvised Shakespeare.
Lords and ladies of huge theater, feast your eyes here upon this stage for the next 5 and 40 minutes, and you shall see a play made up of mere air and magic. A play inspired by the words, styles, and themes of the immortal bard, William Shakespeare. And now, if the spirit so moves you, please give us the title of tonight's performance, a title that has never been writ, nor will be writ or performed again.
On a hillside, desolate. About 15
Thank you! Again, we are blessed with the poet. On the hillside, desolate. Thank you.
Some mountains do have a side lush and with rain, and another side that is but desert, and 'tis the way of things. And yet sometimes a hot wind blows, not on the wind, but in the minds of men, and a desolate hillside becomes an unnatural thing that a town cannot forget. This town of Desolate and its inhabitants bear a mark external and a mark internal, which to them on both ends is infernal.
I ask again, Richard, why do we plough? For plough though we may, day in and day out, no crops will it yield.
Aye, but this be but our job.
I ask you, may a job be fruitless? Nay, is labor not rewarded? All labor by God above is in due time so justly rewarded, and this we have not been, so this labor nay, and a job no, torture perhaps.
Yea, the job be tortured, but that also be the punishment for not providing this job.
Oh, good
Do you
sir.
care to be tortured?
No. Though I have called this job torture, so I may argue, torture I have already experienced of the type you speak of, I wish not still upon myself. I ask you though, how wouldst they know our jobs we did not perform? For when we labor, no fruits of our labor are seen, and when we do not labor, still no fruits would it yield. And so, the outcome of laboring and not laboring being equal, so are both actions.
Aye, but no lines will be seen. If no lines be seen upon the ground, then yea, they will know that we did not do our job.
Oh, lines upon the ground, this point I cannot argue. Or rather, this line of thinking I cannot argue, for you argued not a point in the dirt, but a line in it.
I be not a man of much language or mental skills, but I do know that a line must be drawn on this ground.
Here comes the sheriff! And now do I, the sheriff, to inspect the work, most agricultural.
Aye, good sheriff. Doth these lines please thine eyes?
Aye, they are comely lines, and my eyes do find them pleasing.
I would call this sheriff an evil man, but I think the dim-witted cannot be so evil as I would call him. So rather I name him stupid. Good sheriff. Good day.
You there? Why are there not more lines?
Oh, good sir, the wind didst blow between this morning and this afternoon, and so at midday when we did take our rest, it blew away the morning's work.
Ah, very well. Wind erasure. Yes. I do believe your tale, and therefore you will not be tortured today. Now I must back to my office, thereby to await the prince, who does come to our town. And now, I go.
My prince, you know that this town, Desolate, which we ride to, is the most scarred of our late battle with France. And though you would marry high, you would marry Gloucester, Northrop, others, those about. It is a woman from this village who must be taken as an apology. An apology to Desolate.
Dost thou speak to me?
I
Hither into my
I am quite
body.
comfortable betwixt the horses, my lord. I fear you, so I have stepped down from my carriage and placed myself between two sturdy Clydesdales, that nothing may befall me while I speak the orders thy mother hath given to me.
Yes, Samuel. I will perform my duties as instructed.
Wonder of wonders. It shall go easy then, my prince.
Yes, most easy I will take it on thee, Samuel.
Here
for I-
comes the sheriff. You there, horseman.
Be thee the sheriff?
I the sheriff be, and most witty am I. Now you, move this carriage, we expect a prince.
'Tis the prince's carriage. 'Tis the prince. 'Tis the prince's carriage.
No, 'tis not the prince's carriage, is the prince's carriage we await. So away with this carriage, so the prince's carriage can come.
Look thence.
I look,
Dost thou see a carriage?
I see no carriage behind this carriage. Therefore, move this carriage so a carriage can make its carriage way down the carriage path, thereby carrying the carriage with inside of it the prince whom we await. Away with this!
Good, we shall away. Close thy eyes. Please.
Very well. I shall close mine eyes, and when they open once more, I shall not see your carriage. I close them. I open.
The prince arrives. Behind you.
Ah!
Sheriff, you are slacking on your duties.
Slacking.
The prince came while you had your back turned to him. 'Tis bad form.
Oh, curse my goldfish-like memory. Oh, that I should swim once more around and thereby forget all that. The prince is here! All hail the prince!
So do not see that we were surrounded by villagers.
They must have arrived when my back was turned. Oh, great prince! We welcome.
Many thanks upon thee, Sheriff. Dost thou have no name?
I have a name, but cannot remember it, for I am awestruck. I cry you mercy. Do forgive me for having my back turned when you arrived.
'Tis embroidered on thy cape.
Aye, yes, Sheriff Anonymous. Rise, Sir Sheriff Anonymous. I, King Dumpy, come to town to upon you many apologies for the actions thus taken by our kingdom. Other lodging to which I may delodge my belongings.
Well, delodge thy lodgings in my lodgings. You shall stay in the house of Sheriff Anonymous. My mother being Greek, so too was my father. Ergo, to the house. I shall show you the way.
My daughter, it is said that at last the prince has arrived to make due recompense for the actions which the French invasion. Damn the French invasion.
Mother, why do I care of such things?
Well, daughter, sit down, for I am afraid thine empty head will carry thee to heaven before my speech is through. A good other daughter.
My darling sister.
Yes, I had hoped to bend thine ear alone with this news, but now that your somewhat less comely sister has arrived.
I yet older I be, and therefore more fit for the marriage of a prince. Have thou not heard?
I did just hear, yes, a prince does arrive, but I do not know why we should care such earthly matters.
My older daughter, bereft though she is of beauty, at least in wit is not lacking. Sit, daughter.
You do look most lovely today. Your curls do fall upon your cheeks.
Aye, and upon the breast, upon my bodice as well. Most presented am I for the prince today.
For they are full. For they are full, and I am most jealous of what mother has bestowed upon thy body.
Mother's milk as of many other milks I have taken from many other sows.
Speak not of thy mother as a sow, for though in her older years, as you did know her, she did grow quite plump, she was never, and I say never, a pig. Do you hear me?
I hear thee utter.
Respect thy mother in heaven, girl, or I'll send thee up to meet her. I mean that not, darling. So, my girls, as one of you has recalled, the prince has now arrived and will choose from our town a beautiful bride.
Well, Elizabeth shall be its choice.
Well, one should not presume on the wishes of a prince, for fickle creatures they are, and so the both of you I would like to present to him. For one daughter, we have only one opportunity at the marriage, and with two daughters, twice as much.
Oh, for mother, I do not care to meet a prince.
Nay, mother, good Valerie already has the love of Bondolo. What of him?
Bondolo, that foul baker's son.
He is not foul. We grew up as children together.
Aye, and so you knowing him from a child, call him not foul. I suppose he is not the poulterer's.
For he may be foul in mouth, but he does love me so.
The prince!
Excuse me,
Bondolo.
My dearest.
Your eyes are like the sun rays that cast down and make the crops grow and then...
But our crops do not
mold.
grow. You do speak such lovely words, Bendolo.
You are like an owl to me. Wise and something I would like to meet in the night.
Hold your tongue, you're too speaking out my mother.
out with thy foul mouth!
I bore
thy
you some
foul
bread.
personage! Nay, this bread is not fit to feed to pigs.
I will see you anon.
Nay,
Good day.
good daughter, I tell you, you will not meet this baker's son anon, for by then you shall be the chosen bride of the prince.
That is not fair to tease me so, for Elizabeth is much more... bold and beautiful and abreast of any one of us here. He is but my only option to get out of this town, this desolate wasteland that crops do not grow from.
My Lord Pantolio, a message from the prince. You are to be the prince with both your daughters tomorrow. I take my leave.
And with that speech, he does make this parchment useless.
Good, my prince. I must away to attend to the rest of the ceremonies and such, making sure that our servants do send word and so forth. Do stay within this lodging which the sheriff has given us. Do not engage in any of thy wiles or other trickery, which has cost our kingdom so much.
I would not think of it, Servant Samuel.
Here comes the sheriff. Good, my prince. You will find many amusements here in the sheriff's lodging. Over here, books. I have not read them.
Ooh, books! How exciting. I'm sure there are many a tale inside those books.
Allow me to demonstrate. One begins by opening the book. These small black squiggles are called letters, and one reads them, thereby much amusement gaining. I shall put the book back upon its shelf. Now I am off to torture someone.
Truly most learned, dear Sheriff.
Aye, everyone knows my wit. Now, do enjoy a book.
For your mother. For your mother.
I leave.
Sheriff, pause your exit. But a moment. Whilst I sit upon this stool, I did see out this window here a hillside most barren.
Aye, that hillside is barren, made barren by the bastard French. They did come here with
Bonjour,
their...
Sheriff. I have brought the food for your guest. Here you go. Anything else you would like before I go and scrub the kitchen 20 times like you like?
Of course not.
Okay. I go as your slave.
That is my slave. I think she's from Italy.
A most fine beast that thou own.
Aye, and like a beast, she does toil, and take my commands. Aye.
Most learned are you, dear Sheriff.
Everyone knows of my wit.
Indeed, this bit of food
Yes.
thou have prepared for me.
Do eat it with your mouth. With that, I take my leave.
Most leaved are you.
There goes the sheriff.
Hey! You can't exercise your wiles.
Go on.
My friend and I, Magnolia here, we'll take you about town.
My mother did order me on this mission most important. Yet, 'tis my nature to ignore her wishes and do whatever I wish. Good sirs, I was about to enjoy this grilled cheese, but I think that can wait.
Hey, nay, take it along.
Even better, lead on.
Hey.
Here comes the sheriff. Good, my prince. I have... He is gone. The prince is most gone.
on, Prince.
Come over here, Prince.
Benvolio. He knows the time better than anyone.
Are you looking to get your hands a bit dirty, or are you looking to get your feet a bit dirty?
For the relay, what the specifications of each, the dirty of hands and the dirty of feet, which one be most fun?
Oh, they both be fun in their own way.
You,
Aye, but
you, the dirty of feet, explain on. You, the dirty of hands.
dirty of feet. We go walking through the town, punching out lights. Aye, we see a lantern about, you punch it. Your feet get quite dirty as the town be quite dusty.
Whoa. I've had a bad day of laying rows, and do wish to drown my sorrows in an ale. Please step aside, the tavern door is between me and you.
Aye, but you're dirty of hands. Be but what this gentleman is about to partake in, grabbing an ale with your hand.
Do note I have partaken of an ale already, and could use help getting through the door.
Save that for later.
Most fun this doth seem. I, but a simple man of the town, Alan be my name. I would most love to help thee to thy door.
I am Dufour, the drunkard.
Dufour.
Thank you for bringing me to this door. I now take my leave of you and do shut it. And hopefully I also shut the door on the day.
All right.
Well,
Sorry, my apologies, good sir.
All right.
Methinks I've got one more activity.
Does it involve dirty of something, good sirs? Because...
Nay, dirty of your own mind, sir.
Go on.
So have you partaken in the ladies of the town?
Aye, there is the rub.
I rub indeed.
Have not I partaken? Dost thou nose sniff but a fine tale?
My nose related to the tail indeed, but for now, follow my back for the map. Be cursed on this fellow.
My sister, allow me, since thou art most youthful and kind, to allow a few womanly techniques to be placed upon thee. Here is flour to make thee rise.
A lovely sentiment, though perhaps not entirely accurate. It is in fact the yeast which does make the bread rise. And the flour with which you powder your face and bosom is to make you pale and gentlewomanly-like. Oh.
My father, need I know not of anything of a baker's trade. That be my sister's care to worry about when she doth marry Bondolo. For I shall be married to the prince, and I will have bakers and servants and knights and everyone else at my side to my care. And yea, if flour be made to rise, I say it so, and therefore it shall. And speak not of yeast in my home.
So then, queen not only of England would you be, but queen of the elements as well?
Sayest that I am not fit for this? Such a thing, father?
Aye, daughter, if fit to be queen as you would have it, then tell me, could you make your dead mother's bones rise from the ground?
Aye, with flour.
And when drought has so many years stricken our town, could you make the the banks of the river rise with flower as well?
Mayhaps not, father, and yet with the water that doth be there, perhaps flowers shall arise, and therefore most happy shall people be.
And when it is night, will you call upon the sun to rise, though it be but 12 p.m., with the power of this flower?
Nay, father, for most men say at night I do look most fit.
Father, sister, I do take my leave. It is my intention to run away with Benvolio.
Why this intention did you announce? This plan seems most flawed.
Have he been baking buns in thine oven?
No. Dear sister, for I am still a lady and still yet underneath your age, for it would be improper for me to make such goods without you going first. So, with that, father, I must take my leave.
Nay, daughter, into your room I will lock you, for I told you a better plan would to have been to leave and left a note, for why else did I school you in the writing of letters but to break your father's heart with them like this?
Well, you did school me. You did school us in the way of telling truth. Yes, a truth upon a letter would have been better.
A late truth indeed, and a late truth told in its untimely fashion is nearer a lie.
Oh, weep not, father. The prince!
It is me, Benvolio.
What?
Away we leave.
Anon. Our father-to-be.
Out, you baker's boy! And if my daughter has any sense in her head, to the prince first she would let me present herself. Not the prince, don't get excited.
It is the servant of the Prince Samuel. Your meeting, which is 2 hours hence, is cancelled, for the prince is missing.
Nay!
Oh, joy, joy.
For this is a sign, father.
Aye.
A sign that the prince is foolish, aye, and needs some schooling.
Hold your tongue. I am the servant of the prince, and if the prince needs schooling, 'tis not your decision to make. The prince, I think, would entreat you to go and find him if you had any idea how to find... What?
Like a hound dog, my scent is most strong, indeed as yours as is the prince, and royalty I shall seek out with my snout.
Very keen. Hi, good prince.
Brothers!
Nay, look out upon this vista for just one moment hence. This be but our chance. This be our chance to become the prince.
Follow. No, I will lead, brother. Whoa.
Dost thou carry the rope?
Dost thou carry the rope? 'Tis attached to my satchel.
It just needed to be sure. All right. Now, you take the prince, tie him up, place him behind a large rock, as there be no foliage around here to hide him behind. And I shall take his clothing and wear it about town.
Good friends.
Oh.
Aye, good prince.
Impatient I grow, this be not full of ladies, this is a horse's stable. Be these the ladies you speak of?
Nay! These be but horses, good sir.
And this be what? Dirty hoof?
I know not what of you speak. But sir, these are...
Seeks to find a stud, the stud
Mine
be here.
own brother! Mine own brother shall lead you to the ladies. Aye.
Come. I will show you where all the thoroughbreds do lie.
He shall, and then your wiles shall be adventure.
Brothers, to you I will confess this. My mother wishes to make me plant most potted. I prefer the wiles of the nature, the most seed, the wind,
But
I'm a wild flower.
Aye, and you do grow high.
But where be the women? Dost thou bring me near the scent of horse shit?
Ye good sir, dost thou not know a woman care for a steed quite heavily?
Indeed, I agree, but doth not make it most true by coming close and whispering as such.
Good Prince Dumpy, for if you become onto that horse and trot into town, you will be seen by all.
I wish to come on no horse.
Now be but your chance.
That be a fine equine.
Indeed it be.
Oh.
My
Hey,
shoulder
on his
goes
head,
to
on
sleep.
his head! Huh? On his head!
Oh,
Brother, could you not help me?
Nay, I shall strip him.
in times past I have misplaced my keys. In times past I have misplaced a pet. In times past I have many things misplaced, but ne'er before have I lost a prince. Oh, this is treason. But a moment, I shall do what worked before.
My lord of visitor, your servant. The prince is servant.
Samuel.
Aye, thank you, slave. Samuel, the prince was just here. He is in the privy, thereby making noises of a lower kind. We shall give him peace.
'Tis not your fault, Sheriff, that the prince be gone. 'Tis the nature of the prince, and like a pigeon, which thou hast let forth with a message, you must know that it will return.
Ha ha ha! Nay, I would not lose a prince. I must go now, and I will see how he is doing.
Good, find the prince.
Now I must falsely claim to be the prince in the other room in the privy.
At least he did leave his garnishes. If he-
Samuel! It is I, the prince, your employer. I am in the privy.
Good prince, do I deserve a raise in my wages?
A raise in thy wages? A raise in thy wages! Aye! You shall have more remuneration! Oh, my bowels!
Good prince, then you need but sign a paper. Wilt thou spell thy name?
Aye! I will sign it!
It is the custom in the royal house to spell your name upon the signing.
P R I N.
Tis a good start.
Oh, my love, you are most beauteous to me. Your chest is like a chest of treasure. Want to plunge into.
Soon. And with time, but we must escape from this place. Aye, we must. For you will not go to the prince. You cannot be a princess. I mean, not that in a bad way. I was born of this town, and of this town I shall stay, for I do not grow out of it like the vegetables do not grow out of the ground.
They do, though.
Usually, my love, usually.
But thine hands are workers' hands. They are not those of a princess, to be jeweled all over and done nothing with.
So I am not.
Wow.
I do not mean that in a bad way.
Wow. I do quit my job of the stables today, half finished, to go drinking. For 'tis a boring job. I leave the stables unlocked in my apathy and hope that none shall go in and find any sort of indecency in there.
Well, for good sir, you are.
Let us go into the stables and be indecent.
Come. I do not know if I am ready, love. But we shall steal away a horse and run away together.
Perfection itself, you speak wondrous tones unto my ears.
And your wondrous tones do fall upon me as rocks do.
Oh, now!
Oh, I may
Out
be
of
so
this stable
very
already!
weak.
But wait!
Oh, good sirs.
My ladies!
For he is mistaken. This is Benvolio, and he's not.
I know I am wearing an apron, sir. It is not a skirt. I am a baker's son.
But
Why be your flesh red, and what are you hiding?
ain't nothing. 'Tis but
Nothing but pride.
Aye, nothing but pride. I am but the prince. Hast thou not heard of me?
You are the prince.
Aye. Dost thou not recognize mine own clothing?
I do not know. I have
I
never
see
laid
you.
eyes on the prince before.
But who is this man?
Who?
Is
Be
my servant drunk? Drunk as a drunkman.
Benvolio,
Why is he half naked, my lord?
My sincere apologies. He but came upon this stable and thought to ride a steed.
Prince, my lord, I hear that you are trying to find people to marry.
Aye, this be true.
Well,
this be the prince.
Aye, indeed.
this daughter
Indeed, thy visage doth not match thy scent, and yet thine eyes and face are heaven sent.
Hey, no touching of the prince, but upon a wedding night.
A wedding night? Good
My
father,
daughter,
did you hear?
Yes, in your eagerness you have been too hasty, but it seems that he has chosen you. Aye, this, my daughter, this is...
Do mine own eyes mistake me? Is this not a man? I had been mistaken once before. I thought maybe again.
Her beautiful curls, her bosom,
Aye, she is quite full of bosom.
her corseted waist.
Prince, if I help you with your servant, then will you give blessing for me and my love to steal a horse?
But you don't need to steal your own horse.
Right.
But dear servant, are you all right?
He is but fine.
Good. Most naked is he.
Prince, my prince,
Oh!
show me your horse and prove that you are the prince. Which of these is your horse?
Who is the prince?
I am the
I
prince.
mean-
I am the prince.
But we cannot all be the prince.
I was for some good time long in the privy, as if I had 10 pounds of cheddar eaten. But now I have emerged, and thereby am the prince.
My
but-
daughter, it seems that 3 men you shall marry.
Hey! Here, please, wear this cloak. This be the crest of the prince. This shall be your prince, good maiden.
Aye, indeed then, but something smells afoul with this.
Good my lady. Good my lady.
Wait, I be confused. Are you the prince, my lord?
I am the prince.
I be the prince.
This be the prince. I, Samuel, the prince's servant, which you have all seen wandering around town, tell you this is the prince. This is the sheriff.
But a moment. Oh, Highness.
My lord, thou art the prince. Is this bread upon thy bosom? Aye, 'tis where I keep mine.
Rise.
As flower doth, my lord, I rise for thee.
And a flower I did not find here, but a jungle of a
You are but a farming scoundrel knave.
Aye, this be true, but...
It be true. And if you shall put yourself so low, then you shall become a servant. You are to take my place, and you will be the nursemaid to this wild pig.
Nay!
Tis the king's order. We could also remove thy head from thy neck.
I shall be thine servant.
Yea, be thy dirty hand servant, and be thee the dirty feet servant.
Dost thou care to have your pants back?
Nay.
They may be soiled.
My father-to-be, there'd be 2 weddings then.
Too
upon this
hasty
day.
you are, my blessing I still have not given on this marriage. But this prince has unlikely found your sister to be most beautiful. And it is a miracle so great I might suspect that next spring our fields until now fallow might even spring forth crops. It is a miracle of that.
I am the prince.
My blessing I bestow on thee in thine marriage with this baker's boy.
I be not the prince, I be the sheriff. Here comes the sheriff. As a sheriff, I can perform weddings most civil.
A feast hath we prepared already.
Ah, yes. Do remove your bread chests. And this shall be a triple wedding. For when I get home, I shall marry my slave. Now! By the power vested in me as sheriff, I hereby pronounce you man and wife and man and slave. Please feed each other bread.
Aye. And as the bread doth enter the mouths of thy partner, may it heal the wounds of war and time.
Our hillside be desolate no longer, for from now on, our crops shall be stronger.
Lords and ladies, no holds barred, Improvised Shakespeare.
much for staying out late with us tonight. This is sadly our last show not of just this year, which is a fun joke I could have just made. But in fact, this is our last show of this run for now, but we do look forward to the future in which we get to do this again. We do not have a Facebook page because we're super traditional, so please send us a raven if you want to get in touch. or perhaps smoke signals or light a certain pattern of fires and we will come to you and perform a show. Otherwise, until then, please, there's a lot of awesome shows going on in the new year here at Huge, so go to hugetheater.com to find out more. There's amazing things coming up. Even next weekend is the Tiny Funny Women Festival. More information on that.
It's online.
It's online as well. Excellent. Everything's
They're
online,
not-traditional.
which we don't believe in. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and you have yourselves a fantastic rest of your year and a happy new year, and we'll see you then. Thank you.